If you listen to the radio, watch TV, or ride the subway, then you know the phrase, all you need is $1 and a dream. If you win the lotto, you can be rich beyond your wildest dreams. So what are your wildest dreams? How many of you remember many dreams that you have at night? I have to admit, I don't remember many of my dreams, though I do recall very much celebrating the year that I was in Israel when I started to dream sometimes in Hebrew. Bringing up dreams because they anchor the narrative of Joseph's story this week. We have Joseph's 2 dreams, the baker and the butler, and then next week we pick up the narrative with Pharaoh's 2 dreams. So what exactly are dreams? In some ways, that is a question that we don't even have an answer to in 2021. At a few rabbinic conferences that I've attended, a psychologist introduced us to neuroscience. And she told us the human brain is the most complex creation or entity in the entire universe. The ability of organic matter to produce billions of neurons, to do all of the things that human brains do. That is so fantastic. It is a miracle as we think about Hanukkah. And yes, our human bodies, our brains need sleep. But it is clear that our brains do not turn off during sleep. In fact, it is during sleep that our brains can do its best work, organizing and filing. Why? Because the brain doesn't have to be at the helm of the rest of our body while we are sleeping. So what goes on during that filing cabinet time while we sleep? The question we have to ask is, are dreams the product of random neurons firing and organizing themselves? Or is there a psychic or perhaps even supernatural organization to what we experience while we're sleeping? Many of us know that Sigmund Freud and his student Carl Jung really focused on dreams. Freud said that dreams were the content of our primitive unconscious desires. Jung, though, looked more forward than backward. Freud thought about people's previous experiences affecting their dreams, and Jung thought that the dreams were helping us lead us someplace, where our mind's trying to figure out where we are going, what do we want to do, perhaps the idea beyond our wildest dreams. And what about now in 2021, after Freud and Jung giving us so much, but sometimes we always want to tweak them? We have this idea of a continuity hypothesis, that our dreams contain deep-seated concerns and emotions that translate into bizarre visions and experiences we encounter during sleep. So they're most likely kind of random firing of neurons as the brain reorganizes itself. But sometimes we can put them together into a story, perhaps sometimes a fantastical story, hence nightmares for those who have troublesome emotions and neurons in them, and happier ones for those who have those present, or those the ones being organized at the moment. So what does Judaism have to say about dreams? Of course, we're talking about millennia of sources. So just a brief summary of them to see what kind of meaning we can come out of it. The Torah itself clearly views dreams as communication between God and humankind. There is a prophetic nature to the 6 dreams in the Joseph narrative. But even here, those dreams are symbolic. 11 sheaves are not bowing down to one, stars are not bowing, and skinny cows are not eating fat cows. They are symbolic ideas of what is going to happen. Commentators pored over the meaning of Joseph's dreams and the other dreams in the Bible. And also asked, how about now in our post-prophetic era? Are there elements of prophecy in all of our dreams? The Talmud indicates that some dreams truly are insignificant, are meaningless. But they do say that dreams can be a taste of prophecy, a little bit of a prediction, I would say perhaps a way to guide us in our lives. And so the rabbis were always intuitive in their psychology, even if they sometimes wanted to cage it in supernaturalism. Dreams don't come from a vacuum. Yes, a dream might be randomized mix of neurons, but the memories and experiences that the neurons are firing really do exist. And sometimes if we take the time to write our dream, or as even Joseph says, to talk it out, you can do it on a couch with a psychologist if you'd like, maybe our conscious brain can make sense of some of those images that we feel at night. It is a chance to look through, I'm not saying necessarily our subconscious or not, but again, to work through our feelings, to work through our complicated brain. Again, the most complicated thing in the universe. And that's why Rabbi Chisda says in the Talmud, a dream uninterpreted is like a letter not read. What an amazing statement. A dream not interpreted is like a letter that goes unread. Who is this letter from? Perhaps from God, of course, but it can also be from ourselves. What is our deep self trying to tell our conscious self? It is our soul language, yes, our divine language, trying to come out. The dreamscape, as we kind of would call all of our dreams together, is complex and powerful. And it can tell us so much about what is going on beneath the surface of our psyche and beyond the bounds of the linear and rational world that we live our daily lives in. I like to describe all of Jewish knowledge as a spiritual toolbox, different ways to engage the soul. So accessing the dreamscape, talking about our dreams, is a powerful ancient practice that goes back to our biblical ancestors. With the rise now of new spiritual directions in the Jewish world, it is time to revive many of our toolboxes, including dreams. So I encourage you to think about, even if you don't remember all of your dreams, to keep a journal by your side. By the way, I looked it up. There are dream apps too. So if you'd like to have your phone right next to you, you wake up from a dream, you can open up the app and record the dream that you have. And I'm sure you can also just orally dictate the dream to Siri. It's okay if you don't remember all of the dreams much, or if they don't make sense. It is clear that dreams, at least to me, clear to me, that dreams in many ways are random firings of neurons. But sometimes, though, we can make sense, and just maybe they can guide us into the future. Shabbat Shalom.